Hello, welcome to Soulprint Minis. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I'm going to try to keep this video really short and concise. So you're seeing this on Thursday. Apparently, by Friday, the prosecution for the New York civil case against Trump is apparently going to be resting. They're going to be completing their case. And the defense is going to then have their opportunity to put on their defense. And I want to take a quick look and see what that defense looks like. In the I Ching Carol, they didn't put on a defense. And they have this long, long list, like some 129 people or something, that they want to bring as witnesses for the defense. The thing is that when Trump was on the stand, despite the all of it, the attitude, the words, the rambling, et cetera, he admitted to the things that the prosecution needed him to admit to. He admitted that he was part of, he knew what was going into those financial statements. He knew that those financial statements were being used to secure loans or insurance, et cetera, et cetera. And he knew that some of those assessments or valuations were not accurate. So he basically, despite all the nonsense on the stand, he admitted to the fraud and admitted knowing that it was a fraud. So, despite the right wing sort of spin on this, um, his time on the stand was actually not as successful as one would, project as they're projecting. So let's just take a quick peek and see what the New York Trump defense is going to look like as we go forward. I'm frankly curious to know if he's even going to put on a defense. So let's take a look, shall we? Hold on. And once again, I'm throwing cards around. Hang on. Sorry about that. All right. So let's take a quick peek, shall we? New York fraud, Trump defense, New York fraud, Trump defense, New York fraud, Trump defense. Here we go. Yeah, they're going to have a hard time um, holding their ground, I guess, is what I want to say. Their message is that nobody got hurt. The banks made their money, the loans were paid back. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that the banks lost money because had they had an accurate assessment, they would have charged him a higher interest rate. So while he paid back the loans, the banks still lost money. And it goes beyond just the banks losing money. It has a whole sort of economic impact when you're talking of hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? They are not going to be able to sort of whitewash the judgment that has already been made. Understand the big judgment, which was, were they committing fraud? That's already been determined. The answer is yes. And so, despite the fact that there is already a judgment, and Trump is taking it very personally and saying that, the judge said he was a fraud. That's not what he said. He said that the company engaged in fraudulent behavior. But of course, Trump takes everything personally. The defense is going to have a very, very difficult time trying to turn that around, okay? Not to mention the fact that the prosecution is going to have the ability to cross-examine whatever witnesses that come forward. This is really about trying to save and salvage Trump's businesses. I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of the sneaky and underhanded stuff that went on is going to continue to become amplified. And again, there's going to be more and more um, exposed. Okay. And it's not going to be, what I'm getting is it's not necessarily going to be exposed by the witnesses when they give their testimony. It's going to be exposed on the cross examination, and that's not going to go well. Ultimately, I don't think the defense is going to go well, and I don't think it is going to carry on for as long as they anticipate. If I'm not mistaken, right now they're not expecting this trial to actually wrap up until somewhere like in middle December, I think. Um, I don't see it going that far, because when it comes right down to it, the defense is going to figure out that they're trying to juggle elements that honestly are not in their favor, and there will come a decision for Pentacles to um, hold on to whatever they have and not make it any worse. Truly, the defense is not going to be able to put on any sort of a significant defense, because Trump is going to be choreographing it from the side. And as we know, Trump's lawyers always seem to end up doing what Trump says they need to do, which is invariably not the best thing for Trump. But he doesn't see it that way. And so overall, it feels like the defense is not going to go particularly well. Now, they're going to come out every day and say it was great. We had a great day in court. We're winning, winning, winning. But the reality is, I don't think that those days are going to be so great. Spirit, is there any message that you want to share with regards to Trump and the defense in this New York case? Yeah, again, I'm getting this. They're literally showing me a book getting closed. Okay, so it feels like this is not going to go on as long as, and it also feels like they're going to find themselves in a position where they almost have to back away before it gets any worse, kind of, than it already is. The expectation is that they're going to put Trump back on the stand as sort of his own witness and let him ramble on and on and on to make his point. The problem is that, the longer he rambles, the more he shoves his foot in his mouth. Um, And so, in many ways, letting Trump ramble around in terms of what he wants to say on the stand is never, ever a good strategy, because he doesn't control what he says. His ego jumps in and then he just says stuff. And when it comes to him, um, trying to build up his ego in that verbal moment, we all know, because we've done it for 8 years, he'll say whatever he has to say that he thinks is going to get him out of the moment. So, as far as this goes, I'm actually seeing a judgment coming in. Um, I'm getting around $300 million. Now, um, remember, that's $250 million that everybody's talking about. That is the baseline. That is the minimum that she is asking the court to find. For some reason, they're showing me around $300 million in terms of penalties. Now, listen, and they're going to want the businesses shut down, and they're going to try to pull the licenses, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want everybody to get excited, because the reality is this thing is going to be appealed. And I'm not sure how the appeal works in terms of civil cases, but we know that one of the things that the defense has been trying to do is get the judge irritated enough so there is a forced error that they can then look to use for an appeal. So I'm not sure exactly what that legal process looks like, but don't convince yourself that the judge is going to bang that gavel and the case is going to be over and everything is just going to be at an end. It's not. The legal system doesn't work that way. There are always the opportunity to go back, to appeal, to revisit. That's what you're looking at. So while I see a judgment, and there's apparently, I think, 5 or 6 other judgments that are being made in terms of fraud against in banks, fraud against insurance companies, like that. It's broken down. Um, and while there is going to be a significant fine levied, they're going to try to drag this process out as long as they can. Ultimately, the businesses in New York are going to get shut down. And that's going to be a blow to Trump, but he will simply reincorporate or incorporate anew in Florida. So as of right now, it doesn't feel like that is the end of the Trump corporation, but it will definitely be wounded. A long time ago, in one of my very first videos, I said that Trump is going to end up being taken down. It will be death by 1,000 cuts. And this is what we are witnessing. This case, a cut to his ego, a cut to his reputation, a cut to his money, a cut to his business. And frankly, a bit of an issue within his own family ranks. As you're watching this, if I'm not mistaken, Ivanka is on the stand, so that's going to be interesting. And that's what I know for right now. So thank you very, very much for being here. I look forward to Pendulum Friday, and I will see you then. Until next time, bye-bye for now, and take care and be well. Bye.